evening and thanks for tuning in to Undercurrent, Perth's only local current affairs show, coming to you tonight from beautiful Fremantle. We're really happy to have you with us this evening and we're looking forward to bringing you the stories that affect you. Tonight we've got another great show lined up for you. First up, we head down William Street to speak to a young business owner who's trying to bring something unique to Northbridge.
Traditionally, Northbridge has been known for its antisocial behaviour, but at this end of town on the corner of William and Newcastle Streets, small business owner Matthew Darch and the East Perth Redevelopment Authority are trying to change this with venues such as One Up Micro Cinema.
The idea for One Up came from just a deep love and passion for film and fashion and things like that. And what happens when you're passionate about something like that is you naturally want to create. And over the years I've designed t-shirts and made short films and DJ'd and VJ'd, but unfortunately I found that most of my stuff sucks, kind of. I don't really have an artistic...
That's a bit harsh on yourself.
No, I don't really have an artistic bone in my body, so I thought, what can I do in those areas to still contribute to the scene? And I thought, I'm good at budgeting, I'm good at marketing, I'm good at organising and bringing like-minded people together. So that's where the idea of One Up came from. None of the fashion's mine, none of the films I show are going to be mine, but I'm more of a facilitator, sort of introducing people to it and promoting local film, local fashion and things like that. Film is such a valuable medium for everyone in all sorts of subgroups. So I'm going to be showing films for skaters and films for punks and films for the queer community and all sorts of stuff. So really anyone is welcome. It's going to be so small, it's going to be really intimate, and I guess what people have to do is get used to sitting next to someone. We'll probably be this close in the cinema, where you're used to going to grad union and sort of spreading out. You're going to be really close with people, and the good thing is that you know that the person next to you is going to be like-minded. If you're watching a certain movie, you know that they're going to be into that movie, and that you're with your people, I guess.
What would you say to other small business owners, young business owners, that are finding it, a little bit disheartening in the initial process?
I guess one of the things I always tried to do was pay homage to people who've come before me. Like I'm not the first unique sort of store to open up in Perth. I mean, I remember back in the days of Fiasco and things like that. Is what I did before I started was I contacted people who have been in the industry for a while, and they were very open to giving me lots of advice. Obviously, if you're starting in Perth, you're going to be selling different things and offering different services, so you're not going to be competing directly with them. But it's just little bits of information, especially in the fashion world, if you don't come back from fashion. There's a big debate at the moment about online shopping, how everyone's going online and not going into stores, and you just feel that people like Harvey Norman and stuff like that, well, if people aren't coming in, you've got to give them something that makes them want to come in, and that's why I've got the cinema, possibly the bar. It's just going to be a place where you can hang out, and it offers numerous services. It's not just a clothes store. You want to trap them and say, well, come on, there's so much more clothes here, come out the back, watch this film, and it'll be great when I can serve them coffee and give them a drink. So for anyone who's complaining about people switching to online, well, you've got to give them an environment now to shop in and to immerse themselves in.
Now that's a fantastic idea. Next up, Nick Hayes has a chat with local philanthropist Ros Worthington about her local charity work and what's coming up for her.
Ros, thanks for joining us. Philanthropy, what does it mean to you?
Philanthropy, to me, Nick, is giving of the heart. You hear so many people talk about philanthropy, philanthropist this, philanthropist that, but the true meaning of philanthropy is to give with your heart. Most people believe that philanthropists are very wealthy, have lots of money. Not so. I mean, there's a lot out there that do have a lot of money, but philanthropists like me that don't have any money, we do it with our heart.
Why did Ros Worthington get into philanthropy?
Nick, it's, that word philanthropy, honestly, made a few years ago, I didn't even know what it meant. It is something I've done all my life. It's a way of life for me, to give and to help others. So, I mean, I've been blessed with that gift since I was a child, so it's really just very normal for me.
Barely a day goes by that you're not in the media. That has to be hard. I mean, that exposure, is it difficult?
Well, I've been going 25 years, and now really I'm starting to get the exposure, so it's been a long haul. Look, it does get a bit hard sometimes, but I'm not going to complain about it, Nick, because it's the way of getting my causes out there.
Well, let's talk about the causes. There's so many. Can you even name them?
Well, the first one, of course, that I really got involved with was the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Established that here in Perth 23 years ago. Then went on to establish the Breast Cancer Foundation, that is now Breast Cancer Care. That was 10 years ago. The third one is the Love Angel Foundation. The last one that I'm involved in, not so much a charity, but it is the Help Me campaign that I've spearheaded with Lifeline WA, and that is to get rid of the stigma and the shame attached to suicide and depression.
How do you get your funding? Who supports Ros Worthington?
Oh, Nick, that's a great one. Well, I don't get any government support from breast cancer. When I started that, there was no public support, no government support. I should say the public support has been phenomenal. So for all the charities that I've set up, I've had no government support. I've had to go out there and right from day one, raise the funds hardcore.
Your family's big for you. I mean, you've got such a strong network of family. What is it about them that actually brings Ros Worthington to the table? What inspires? What gives you the drive there?
Well, Nick, anyone that has an amazing family will know it's family that carries you in times. And I always say it was my boys, my sons, that were the wind beneath my wings, so to speak, when I lost my husband to suicide, that were there, that loved me and supported me. So I never underestimate the power of love, Nick. And I think that's how I live my whole life. You know, the power of love is very, very strong. And I always say charity begins at home. And it does with my own family and my beautiful grandchildren. And of course, I'm inspired every day by people that I meet in the community. I'll meet someone with breast cancer. I'll meet someone that's just lost someone to suicide. You know, we'll meet someone who's got a child with a life-threatening illness and these wishes going to be granted. Those people inspire me to keep doing what I'm doing.
What's next? What's on the agenda?
Well, do you know what's next for Ros Worthington? I'm going to do Kokoda. It's hard. I'm doing it with 15 other women. We're doing it for breast cancer care for my beloved charity. So we want to raise awareness about breast cancer. We want to raise funds for breast cancer here in Western Australia, and I'm writing a book on it as well. So,
what do you love about Western Australia? Why is WA important to you?
Oh my God, I'm the most parochial Western Australian. I love Western Australia. They say we're the most isolated city in the world, and I love it. It's the people. Of course, it's where I was born down south in a little town, Collie, and then raised in Geraldton. Come from the bush, love the smell of this rain on the red earth as soon as the first rain then it comes, and love the wildflowers. Basically, I'm a very simple person and I love the simple things in life.
Beautiful. Ros, you have been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Ros. If you'd like to find out any more about Ros's charities, you can check out her website at www.rosworthington.com.au. Jeremy Garlett joins us once again to speak about the Work for the Dole program. He discusses the necessity of security and the importance of training and education.
Hello everybody, my name is Jeremy Garlett. I'm here talking about Work for the Dole, which was an incredible program because what it did, it looked at people who are unemployed. It said to the people that are unemployed, let's do something for the money that we give you. People were gaining skills, they were being contributing members of society, they were learning, and there was a reciprocity. But now Social Security seemed to be putting people into these categories where you've got to fill out your form, you've got to get out your contract, you've got to do all these things. So out of that is developing a major process of infrastructure to look after all that. Whereas Work for the Dole is saying, okay, here I'm going to sort of get my dole, I'm going to work for it, because then I'm going to deserve what I get, rather than looking at all the major infrastructures that are set up, working contracts, making sure that I'm on time, and all these processes that are in the way. Whereas if you say, okay, I'm going to get people out there, they're going to go out there, they're going to clean the roads, so they're contributing out there, they're going to go into places where people normally don't want to go, like helping elderly people in elderly homes, helping families, and going into community organisations where there's some support that could be provided. Go out there, because there's so much people out here in this country have got very limited, there's so much work out here, and there's not enough people with experience. what a great way to do it, is working for your social security, working for the Dole, rather than achieving the outcomes of filling out a form and getting this done. It's appeasing all these questions and answers and all these processes that are there in order to be able to just get past the first base. And when Work for the Dole was around, there were more people feeling happy about themselves, and this is what we failed to do. There's so much you can learn from that, and so much education you can get from going out there. It's a wealth of information, and it gets you really prepared and gets you ready to get out there.
Thanks, Jeremy. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Undercurrent.